Now at 10, a new report says test scores in rural Kansas schools were hit hardest by the pandemic. We'll hear how it impacted districts in our region. Plus, how a unique partnership could mean more social workers serving the 4 states. And a home invasion suspect is injured and charged. We'll tell you what police say led to the suspect's injuries.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A report by a Kansas nonprofit shows rural Kansas school districts experienced the greatest decline in early reading levels from 2019 to 2021 compared to other Kansas districts. This is KOAM News at 10. This comes from public data showing rural school districts suffered more learning losses following pandemic-related school closures. Some area districts fared pretty well, but the Columbus, Kansas school district says it's seeing this learning gap firsthand. It says a lack of funding plays a big part.
I think what hurts rural schools, we don't have maybe the resources you would have in more, larger cities and things. So we were able, with ESSER money, to get caught up with some of the things that we fall behind in because we don't have the funding maybe you see in larger settings.
The Columbus superintendent says they're now using federal pandemic funding to introduce new programs for students who may have fallen behind. Pitt State is giving social work students a new opportunity to advance their education. PSU is now offering a master's degree in social work through a partnership with the University of Kansas. Students in the first group are already pursuing the new degree option.
So this allows students to stay in the area, to get their degree and stay here. It also, since we have the 2-year program where they're able to do the first year at PSU, our tuition is great at PSU, so it's an affordable way.
In the first year, students take courses in PSU's social work program to earn a foundation graduate certificate. Then they take a year of clinically focused classes taught by KU faculty. Pretty nice day out there to end the month, Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great Tuesday for us today. We had a lot of clouds, but still temperatures went right up into the mid-60s for highs. We started at 38, 65 was our high. Average high is 53 degrees, so quite a bit above where we should be for the very end of November. All these clouds, we still have a lot of clouds across the region. We have one weak wave passing by to our north. You can see a few showers in central Missouri, more clouds out across Kansas, all the way up through parts of Nebraska. Another weak wave. It's not really going to affect us, just clouds throughout the overnight hours for us tonight. Temperatures not too bad, mid 40s to lower 50s, and I think we'll drop back to about 46 later on tonight, 56 by 10, into the 60s by noon, up to 66 during the afternoon hours. It even warms up more over the next few days. We're going to check that out here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Thanks, Doug. Baxter Springs, Kansas home invasion suspect is recovering in the hospital after he was shot by the resident. That shooting happened last night. The Baxter Springs Police Department got a call just before 9 about a person breaking into a house. On the way to that call, they learned that someone at that location had been shot. Police say the suspect, Sean Talent Jr., allegedly broke into the home, assaulted the residents, and was shot once in the thigh and again in the calf. Talent's charged with aggravated burglary, aggravated assault, and criminal damage to property. No one else has been charged. Former reality TV personality Josh Duggar was in an Arkansas courtroom today for the start of his trial. Jury selection began at the federal courthouse in Fayetteville. Duggar faces federal charges of receipt and possession of child pornography. Prosecutors allege he downloaded material that depicted the sexual abuse of children under the age of 12. Duggar is the oldest of Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar's 19 children. The trial comes as the family patriarch Jim Bob runs for an open Arkansas State Senate seat in a special election. The family was the focus of the TLC series 19 Kids and Counting. Members of the Kansas City Freedom Project today held a rally outside the Missouri Attorney General's office. A new Missouri law gives prosecutors the authority to ask for a new hearing if there's evidence a person may have been wrongfully convicted. And many supporters are hopeful innocent people behind bars will get the chance to be exonerated. Emily Rittman reports.
We need conviction integrity units in every county prosecutor's offices throughout the state of Missouri.
The founder of the KC Freedom Project says it is wrong for the Missouri Attorney General to uphold wrongful convictions when evidence of innocence exists.
Their ethical duty is to pursue justice, to seek justice, not defend these prior convictions.
My father's wrongful conviction 30 years ago is why I'm here, unfortunately.
Relatives who are fighting to prove a family member's innocence joined the rally Monday, including Cliff Middleton, whose father, Ken Middleton, was convicted of shooting and killing his wife, Kathy Middleton, in 1990.
Well, I just want them to know that the innocent man's in prison.
Middleton was the focus of several KCTV5 News investigations.
That's what we're trying to bring awareness to, that procedural and issues should not take precedent over innocence. Innocence should always matter first. And I think with this new law being in place, with Gene Peters Baker being able to take a case back into court where it can be heard with no procedural issues, you get to have all of the facts put forward.
I want my son home so bad. You know, it's been so many years. He went in, like I said, when he was 18, and he's 41 years old now. And so we've lost all that time, and it's time that we can't get back.
Betty Mayfield is hoping for a new evidentiary hearing for her son, Nathan Hawkins.
We have some new evidence that is leading to, self-defense, like he said, from day one.
Under the new Missouri law, prosecutors have the authority to ask for a hearing if they have new evidence that a person may have been wrongfully convicted. The law was used for the first time to release Kevin Strickland.
I believe that that's a game changer for wrongful convictions.
A spokesperson for Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt declined to comment on that rally in Kansas City. Still ahead, the latest on a school shooting in Michigan that left 3 students dead and at least 6 others injured. And a labor group says Amazon massively underreported COVID-19 cases contracted at work. Tonight, a 15-year-old boy is in police custody after a deadly shooting at a Michigan high school. 3 students are dead, 8 other people are wounded, including a teacher. Nichelle Medina reports.
The community of Oxford, Michigan is in mourning after it became the scene of the latest school shooting in the U.S. The first of more than 100 911 calls was received from Oxford High School shortly before 1 p.m. Tuesday. Emergency personnel swarmed the campus. A pair of sheriff's deputies apprehended a suspect within minutes.
He did not give us any resistance when he was taken into custody. He's not cooperating with us at this point. We have talked to the parents, and all I can tell you is they didn't want their son to talk to us, and they've hired an attorney.
Investigators say the alleged shooter is a 15-year-old sophomore at the school. They say the boy was armed with a semi-automatic handgun and had several magazines with him. They believe he acted alone, but said it remains unclear what prompted the rampage.
We don't know if they were targeted. We will get to the bottom of that.
The dead include a 16-year-old boy and 2 girls. One was 17 years old and the other just 14. Nichelle Medina, CBS News.
President Biden was briefed on the shootings while visiting Minnesota today. The president said, quote, "My heart goes out to the families enduring the unimaginable grief of losing a loved one." A labor group says Amazon massively underreported COVID-19 cases contracted at work. The Strategic Organizing Center, a coalition of 4 unions interested in representing Amazon workers, is now urging the Occupational Health and Safety Administration, OSHA, to investigate. They say Amazon had at least 20,000 employees test positive for COVID-19 last year, but reported that only 27 of those cases were contracted while the employees were at work. Amazon has faced complaints from both employees and some public officials who say the company has not done enough to protect workers from the transmission of COVID. Amazon did not challenge the number of cases cited by the group, but called its report an intentionally misleading effort to paint a false picture of the statistics it filed with OSHA. By now, you probably know that one major aspect of the supply chain issue is the congestion at U.S. ports as container ships sit idle. Those ships are also heaping pollution into nearby communities, it seems. According to a new report, The world's largest retailers are the biggest offenders when it comes to that congestion and pollution. The report was conducted by 2 environmental organizations. It says goods imported by Walmart, Target, Amazon, and Ikea between 2018 and 2020 accounted for 20 million metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. Rising rent and expected mortgage rate hikes are prompting home sales to rebound. According to the National Association of Retailers, pending sales rose about 7.5% in October. The Midwest and the South saw even bigger gains. Despite the rebound, overall sales are still down slightly compared to last year. Later, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at Joplin's Mercy Park.
Plus, our temperatures are going up, so it's not going to feel like Christmas anytime soon. We're going to look at that coming up. It turned out to be a nice Tuesday for us today. A lot of clouds across the region, but overall temperatures pretty good, right back up into the mid-60s during the afternoon. Looks good right now. This is a live shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, over the next few days, temperatures warm up even more. We're going to go into the 70s by the time Thursday and Friday roll around. Pattern's pretty calm, slowly picks up this weekend, takes another leap forward next week, and then really gets going by the middle of September. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow night because we're going to do the month-long forecast. In fact, Thursday we're going to do the winter forecast, and we'll go all the way into the beginning of spring. Temperatures dropping back. Most of us are into the mid to upper 40s to lower 50s once you get into our southern counties. Looks good. 7th range line. Currently 54. Southerly winds 5 to 10. Humidity is at about 64%. And we have had a lot of clouds kind of rolling through today. A few random little sprinkles in our northern counties as we have this weak little wave right across central parts of Missouri heading away from us. But look at the clouds kind of thickening back up. Kansas, Nebraska, another wave across the northern parts of the plains. Not really doing much for us because we can't get any big storm systems in here due to this big upper level high. So it sends all these waves into the northern plains and then they drop south. Very typical La Nina pattern. When this area of high pressure breaks down starting next week, we'll start to get some systems in here for a couple weeks or so, and then we'll go back to what we're getting right now. For us tonight, a lot of clouds, mid 40s for overnight lows. We're going to kind of have a westerly wind for us tomorrow. We're going to get up near 60 by noon, I think up to about 65 or 66. Here's your day planner for you. We'll start at 46, 61 by noon, high temp is 66. Westerly winds, they're going to be light at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, pretty much clear skies, upper 40s for overnight lows. And then Thursday looks fantastic. Plenty of sunshine, and we should warm up into lower 70s for highs. We should be into the 70s again on Friday, but we are going to get some clouds increasing Friday afternoon. A weak wave is going to roll in. This could give us a few showers Friday night and hit and miss showers during the daytime hours on Saturday. We get a cold front on Sunday, maybe a few thunderstorms, even a few snow flurries on the backside, and then we're going to cool down quite a bit for Monday. And then our next system rolls right back out by Tuesday. So it does get fairly active next week. And these are just little systems. 66 for us tomorrow, 72 Thursday, 74 Friday. Still into the 60s over the weekend with those scattered light showers. Cooling down quite a bit Monday and Tuesday. Rain chances stick around next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, kind of chilly. And then we warm up and see a nice weekend next weekend. So overall, the next 2 weeks, not too bad.
We're going to learn a lot more in the month-long forecast tomorrow
we will.
night. Thanks, Doug. It was such a hit last year, the Joplin Parks and Rec Department's doing it again. The Holiday Tree Trail is a series of decorated trees from area businesses and organizations placed along a portion of the trail at Mercy Park. The city lit the trees tonight at a special event that included performances by Karen's Dance Studio, hot cocoa, cookies, and even a visit by Santa.
I love all of the trees. These businesses and organizations have worked so hard to get these trees out here and decorated, and they've just done a fantastic job in helping us make this event happen.
Guests who walk the trail can vote for their favorite tree through December 22nd, when the winners will receive prizes. The trees will actually be on display through the end of the month. Coming up in sports, the Carl Junction girls aim to move on to the CJ Classic Championship, and the Carthage Tigers begin the wrestling/wrestling season on the road against COC rival Carl Junction. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
The Carthage High School wrestling team enters the season with high expectations this winter. Carthage finished as district runner-up last season. This season, they have 11 starters back, including 6 state qualifiers. Carthage opens the season on the road tonight with a COC duel against Carl Junction. And we start at 170 pounds. Carl Junction's Lucas Watkins. Good match against Gabe Lambeth, but Watkins gets the win by fall a minute into the third. CJ would go up 12-0 to start. Carthage junior Luke Gall normally goes at 195, wrestling up at 220 tonight. Gets the takedown in the first period, then another in the third. Gall wins by technical fall to get Carthage on the board. Then CJ went on a little roll. 285, the big guys. Carl Junction's Cameron Bennett gets it done with a pin late in the first period. Carter Fogelsong at 106 pounds. Going to work quickly, wins his match by fall in 58 seconds. Then 113 pounds, it's Lucas Walker for CJ. Finished 5th at state as a sophomore last year, wins via second round pin. Bulldogs out to a big lead. Carthage, though, would close late at 138 pounds here. It's Byron Lopez winning by fall in the second. Then Eli Sneed, tough kid, 145 pounds, wins by pin. Carthage finishes with 4 consecutive wins by fall. They came up just short. Carl Junction wins their opening duel over Carthage 39-34.
Carthage is a heck of a team. I know they didn't have their full lineup tonight. They do always throw in their best that they got in there, so we're super proud of the guys to go out and compete with the ones that can. We had a few kids wrestling up weight classes. Super proud of our guys. We talked about culture, starting to willing it back to our winning traditions again, and it starts with this team. Last 2 years, we've had a good group of kids starting that culture, starting to develop again. I can see it in this team. This team is starting to develop and they're buying into the program that we're wanting to build.
In other COC wrestling action tonight, Joplin kicks off the season on the road with a duel against Webb City. Tonight it's Joplin opening the year with a 45-28 win over Webb City. Local high school basketball tournament action, semifinal night at the CJ Classic in Carl Junction. First up, Nevada facing Parkview for a spot in the championship game. Nevada moves on 64-58. Other side of the bracket, tournament host Bulldogs face Seneca, looking to earn a spot in the finals. That one just finished up. CJ wins at 59-42. So it'll be Carl Junction and Nevada squaring off for the CJ Classic Championship Thursday night at 8:30. Well, this week is a big week for Pittsburgh State basketball. The Gorillas open MIAA conference play with 2 league games this week, beginning tomorrow night with the home date against Newman. On the women's side, Gorillas head into conference play with a little momentum. PSU 4-1 on a 3-game winning streak after blowing out Missouri S&T on Saturday. They've used those 5 non-conference games to get young players experience, build a little chemistry, and hopefully find some consistency.
You can't always know who's going to show up what night, but it's getting closer to that. And the good thing is the girls are playing connected. I mean, I think the bigger piece to being confident is that we're sharing the basketball. So they must feel confident within each other. So we've had 20 assists, 21 assists, and so that's a really bright piece. And I think that does just show that they're playing well together.
On the men's side, the Gorillas are aiming for back-to-back wins in their conference opener tomorrow night. The last time out, PSU topped Baker for their first win of the season. The Gorillas are dealing with plenty of injuries already, but with those guys out, head coach Kim Anderson has had a chance to get an extended look at plenty of other players.
We started off with 17 guys, and we redshirted our 2 freshmen, and then we've got 3 guys that are hurt right now, so maybe having 17 was a good idea. But we got a lot of guys, a lot of different playing time, or a lot of playing time. Candidly, I think there's still competition. There's going to be competition all year. It comes down to production. You play well, you get to play more. You don't play well, you play less.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Tonight we recognize a U.S. Army veteran from Joplin. Since joining in 2001, Sergeant First Class Nathaniel Weber has been deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan multiple times with an airborne battalion. He's earned numerous medals, including a Bronze Star. Sergeant First Class Nathaniel Weber is a four-state hero. Tonight was our first Toy Box Tuesday of the year, but we are not done yet. Next Tuesday at noon, 6 volunteers are going to be standing by to take your phone-in monetary donations to help buy toys for area kids in need. If you can't wait until next Tuesday, well, you don't have to. You can always donate on our website. That's KOIMnewsnow.com. Here's an innovative way to give back, giving vending machines. This is in downtown Kansas City, Missouri, where you can make a donation to a local or global charity. Anyone who wants to can simply select a charity they'd like to donate to, swipe a credit card, and it is done. Donation options range from $5 to $300, and 100% of the money goes to the charity selected. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is sponsoring 10 of these machines across the country. It's certainly innovative. You have to give them credit for that, and you hope it works out well. I'm not sure if it will, but I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Good idea.
Yes, it is. The weather looking pretty nice.
It does. We're going to drop back mid-40s for overnight lows tonight. 66 tomorrow, 70s Thursday and Friday, 60s over the weekend. Some rain chances starting to roll in, then cooling down early next week.
Month-long forecast tomorrow night, and then the winter-long
Thursday
following that. Final sports notes.
All right, so we told you Pitt State opens up MIAA play tomorrow night against Newman. The women tip off in Pittsburgh at 5:30. The men play at 7:30.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, our morning show begins at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
Salon service is